Hey guys, it's Sash. We're live on MTM Radio. First and foremost, I want to say thank you to our guests that we had last week. For anyone that missed it, you can go to mtmrecordsmusic.com for the Phil interview. It's all up there. We had Jiggy Lauren come in. We did a little quick interview with him. That's part one, a little bit of teaser, kind of with his trailer for his new song, Nana. So we'll have part two towards the end of September, and then we'll put it all together. So for those who missed it, you can tune in there. You can go to the website as well. I have my Up Next playlist, Who Got Next playlist on the MTM Records Music.com as well. I've been getting super good feedback from that, so shout out to everybody who tuned in, everybody who's been listening to the playlist. Tomorrow I have the same one up between around the evening time. I've been trying to be consistent with like around 2 or 3 o'clock, so we'll do that. So I'm gonna jump right into it. I want to say a special thank you to my guest today. I'm gonna put you on my live. He goes by the name of Elliot Bless. Thank you for coming first and foremost.
Hey, thank you.
Shout out to you.
Thank you.
I got connected through a mutual friend. I was saying we went to junior high school together, and then you were telling me off air that you met him through college.
Yeah, we went to Franklin and Marshall together.
Okay, cool. So then he kind of put me onto your music. So from then I just been listening to your music. Sometimes I do research to figure out maybe where the artist is from, do maybe more like family history, stuff like that. But as of lately, I kind of like to do that on air. So I don't really do that too much. All right, so let's get right into it. So for those who don't know, where are you from?
Cool. So I was born in Queens. And my father is black. My mom is Puerto Rican. Okay. So that'll give you a little bit of that background.
Okay, I wouldn't have guessed that. And I'm not good with guessing nationalities.
I don't get that a lot.
I'm not good with guessing nationalities at all. So I wouldn't have guessed that. So that's a pretty dope combo.
Yo, thank you. I usually try and put that out like very early in my music just because I feel like content-wise, I don't want people to hear something that I might say and then
not
be like,
understand.
"Who is this guy?" Yeah, you know what I mean.
Or you're not allowed to say something, or be considered a culture, or whatever they say.
So I put that out very early. But yeah, born and bred in New York. I currently live. I won't say that, but I live uptown somewhere.
Okay, in the Bronx.
Yeah, well, you got me snitching.
No, you meant to say Harlem. Okay, could be Harlem.
No, it's cool. I live in the Bronx.
Because first I thought, I was like, maybe you're from the Bronx, being that I went to school with with Kaya in the Bronx. I was like, maybe he's from the Bronx. And I'm like, maybe not.
There was a lot of New Yorkers at F&M. So Franklin and Marshall is in Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Okay, I was like, I've been to Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
And when I got out there, I was like, what the fuck is going on? It was a lot of New Yorkers. That was my first time ever being in like that deep in Pennsylvania.
Right.
But I went to boarding school for high school in Pennsylvania. So I was maybe like 40 some odd minutes away from Philly. So it was more of a city feel. It was way more municipal.
More urban.
Yeah, Lancaster is.
Because Lancaster is very it's very interesting. Maybe I should say that.
It's
very different.
It is. It's super what's very rural, but the inner city is like super ratchet. A lot of people don't know that, but it's a very it's like that. The inner city of Lanc is very it's it's
how would you say it's compared to Queens?
Well, I was raised in Jackson Heights, which is like a very I wouldn't say safe per se, but like it's very it's family oriented. So I had like a little bit of a different like Queens experience. But Lancaster is a lot smaller than Queens is, so that's kind of sort of how I would compare those two.
Because when I went to Lancaster, I don't know if you ever heard of, what is it called, not the Sound of Music. That's a movie. Oh my God. Sight and Sound Theater. There we go. Sight and Sound Theater. Almost caught me slipping. Sight and Sound Theater. I went there a couple of times, and I know there's like outlets, and it's very
we used to go crazy at the outlets.
Huh?
We used to go crazy.
Right, yeah, that's what we would go there for, and not only go there for right before we go see. I don't know if you know what it is. Sight and Sound Theater is where they have like these biblical kind of performances, I want to say. So they're like Broadway. You know what I mean? Like how they have The Lion King on Broadway, they'll have like Abraham and Sarah. They have that. They'll have what I've seen, Daniel in the Lion's Den, Jesus, with the Christmas story of Jesus. There's been all those, real popular stories. That's what they basically go. So that's why I would go there on church trips. So that's how I got familiar with what Lancaster was. So it was a big culture, not shock, but just a difference from being, raised in the city, New York City, the Bronx or Queens, versus going to Lancaster and seeing like there's people walking around with no shoes on and long dresses, and young girls with long dresses and pigtails, and with no shoes on, walking through the streets, picking plants and doing all the. It's just like different like I should say country, like, you know.
Yeah, and even in like the city area. So like I used to walk to the studio from campus, and so in walking to the studio from campus, you might see a bodega, a chicken spot, a barber shop, and literally coming down the block, you'll see a horse and buggy. Like it's a very it's completely like juxtaposition as far as like what you'll see. It's really strange. Like it's just a wild. I can't imagine growing up there. It's like it's different.
I definitely agree. I would say it's different. Okay, so that's cool. So I got to know a little bit. So that was when you said you went there for college.
Yep.
And then after you came back to New York City.
Yeah.
So when did you start making music?
Hey, take it back. So I've been doing music since about 5th grade. Okay. So in the 5th grade, I was.
And you went to junior high school in.
I went to junior high. Yeah, I went to Wagner in the city.
Oh, okay. I know what that's at.
Yeah. So I went to Wagner for middle school.
Okay.
And for elementary school, I went to PS6, which is 82nd and 5th.
Okay.
Somewhere. Yeah. So it's so funny when you think back to like stuff like that. Mm-hmm. It's so easy to forget because it's been so long.
Oh yeah. Then you realize you're getting old.
Yeah, exactly. But in 5th grade, I started like writing, just in general, just writing. I wouldn't say they were like full songs, but I would write like short verses. They might have been like 12 bars, 14 bars. And the reason why I got into that is I was listening to a lot of Limp Bizkit. And and so I wanted to do.
I used to listen to a lot of Limp Bizkit when I was in junior high school. Yeah. I had a little Limp Bizkit moment.
They
were popping.
They were, yeah. And I like the fact that they meshed genres. So like I like the fact that, you know, the sound bed was rock, but you know, Fred, he was rapping.
Yeah, like, he was rapping. Yeah, he's incorporating rap into it in his own way.
Exactly. So at first I wanted to do something like that. Like I wanted to do like, you know, like kind of rock rap in that vein. Because I just felt like, I always felt like I could rap on anything, but I felt like that was going to be like the most unique lane that I could take.
Okay.
And I had like a little band. It was like me and these two kids. And it didn't work.
So you were in a band first.
I was in a band
first.
You were
in a band.
Yeah,
okay.
I was like
what was the name of the
lead
band?
rapper. I don't remember that one.
See, that would have been probably really funny.
That was
Yeah, that would have been.
My first rap group name.
Okay.
Was this is terrible.
What is it? You guys tell us.
I will. It was Ruthless Empire.
That's not a bad name.
No, it's a good name, but if you think about like.
Yeah, what were y'all talking about though?
Right.
Like, how old were you?
I killed 1,000 people when I was rapping in that group. I was like a mass murderer. Like it was nuts because at that time, like gangster rap was so big. G-Unit was like the god MCs. And so, you know, if you listen to like a lot of 50, I literally like every bar was just like body bags and all like unnecessary like stuff that I just wasn't living like when I was going. As I was going to like Earth Sciences the next day, it just wasn't.
I'm talking about kitchen bodies.
Right.
Okay.
So that didn't really fit like the mold. But yeah, so 5th grade was when I started, and then middle school we did like the group, and that was the first time that I went to a real studio. Like that was the first time that I ever went to like a booth and like sat with an engineer and like did all that stuff.
Wow. Okay.
So I got that out of the way early, and then
I must say that's pretty young.
Yeah, it was cool. And then when I got to high school, that's when I learned how to actually like format records, like write bars, hooks, bridges, and all that stuff. I had a friend that was out there. Shout out to Accent, and he was a senior and I was a freshman. And it's one of those like cliche stories of rap where I was actually freestyling in the lunchroom, which is weird because like my high school was a Quaker boarding school, so freestyling in the lunchroom was not what was standard.
Ideal?
Yeah,
Okay.
It's not what was happening.
Oh, that was happening. Okay.
Nah, not on the daily. And obviously, you know, he caught wind of it quick, and he was just like, "Yo, like, have you ever made a record?" And I was like, "Nah, like, I mean, I've done stuff before, but like, I haven't made like a solo record. I hadn't had one." And he was like, "Yo, I could teach you. Like, I could show you how to do it." And he had a whole setup in his dorm room. There was like,
oh wow,
yeah, this kid. I don't know if he ended up being an engineer or not, but he would like mix the records, and they had like a makeshift booth. So it was pretty, it was pretty lit.
Okay, so what, you took it and ran with it from there, or like what did
you I was gone. So like literally.
So what happens after you learn how to make a song? What'd you do with it?
Made a mixtape.
Ooh. What was the name of your first mixtape?
This is embarrassing. The first mixtape was Backpacks and Chicken Wings.
Okay. I did not expect you to say that.
The first mixtape was
Backpacks and Chicken Wings?
Backpacks and Chicken Wings.
Well, that is a very interesting name.
Yeah.
Okay, so how did you come up with that name?
I like chicken wings.
Okay, I think we all do.
I like chicken wings.
We all do, but most of us do.
And I used to walk around with a backpack a lot. Like, legitimately, I don't know why that was, like, my thing, but I hated having stuff in my pockets, so I would always have, like, a little bag. And it's a terrible, terrible
So
but I did 2 volumes of that shit.
You did 2 what?
I did 2 volumes. There was a backpack and chicken wings 1 and 2.
Wow.
Unfortunate.
So what year was this? This is were you in high school?
I was in high school. This would have been my sophomore year.
Do you have any of that music still available?
I can find it.
I'm just intrigued.
Somebody had.
I'm just
somebody
not that we're gonna play it. I just wanted to know.
You know what's funny? It actually, I'd sound the same. Like I can play some other stuff that I have from like college, but I sound relatively.
Can we play that first before we get into the recent stuff? Do you mind?
Let me try and find it.
Okay, go ahead. We got time. Go ahead, look for it.
Let's see.
Yeah, you can look for it in the meantime.
Damn, it wouldn't even be on here. I'm not gonna do that to you. It's on my old computer. Okay. What I can do is I'll send you some of it.
Okay, yeah. Sure. Yeah. Do that. I'm cool with that. Okay. So what is it being after you learn how to, write a song, which I think is really actually dope that somebody kind of showed you how to do that. Like, coming here and, being somewhat new to this as well as far as interviewing up and coming artists. Mm-hmm. I'm often intrigued but to know like what is their creative process like. That's why I'm asking you all these questions.
Yeah,
like, when did you start,
sure.
So actually I never really heard anyone say that like, oh, this person taught me exactly how to, do a hook, do a bridge, do a verse, do a this. You know what I mean? From that, and I didn't know, and I just had the talent. So how did you use that to play into your creative process of what you do now to make music?
Yeah, I mean, so it's funny because I actually, in knowing the structure of records, I'd prefer to do an unorthodox structure. So like generally, like most structures are like for rap it's like 16 bar verse, 4 to 8 bar hook, 16 bar verse, usually like a 4 to 6 bar bridge, and then you bring the hook back in. But I kind of like to freak it a little bit, and I might do like an 8 bar verse for like an intro, and then instead of it going straight into the hook, I might do like a pre-hook and then a hook. But the process for me right now is I try to write a lot, just like free write, so that when I do have to write to a record, I don't have writer's block. So
all right,
yeah,
which is. Yeah, that's actually really dope. Yeah, like I guess you kind of have things that can just go with anything,
exactly.
And then I guess whatever maybe beat plays or whatever. Let's say if it's a feature and somebody has like a certain message or a tone or a vibe, you can kind of pick and choose from whatever you have written.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And that's actually one of my biggest pet peeves as a listener, because I still. Like, even in, like, rapping, I'm still a huge fan of rap music. I listen to a lot of rap.
If you can name your top 3 right now, real quick.
My top 3?
Real quick.
Man.
People always stop, and I
top
always try
3.
to rush them, and they're like, wait.
You know what's actually funny? Without being arrogant, I am my favorite artist. Yeah,
okay.
like, hands down.
Ooh, I like that answer.
So, number 1 would be me. Number 2... I like a lot of artists, man. I mean, I love myself.
Or maybe I should say what you currently, if I would go to your like iPod right now, like what will be in your like last couple of songs that you've been playing? Maybe.
Mick Jenkins.
Okay.
I listened to Mick Jenkins recently, and I just listened to Boss's Milky Way album like earlier today.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay, that's what's in your playlist.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so back to your couple of your favorite artists, like all time, like
all time?
Yeah, couple. I know we have a lot, but if you can name a couple, or maybe who influences you, maybe that's a better.
Yeah, stylistically, one of my favorite artists all time stylistically is Petey Crack. I think Petey is nuts. You remember Petey Crack?
North Carolina.
No.
Oh, I'm like, hey, is that? I'm like, wait, no, that can't be. I'm like, am I bugging?
That's Petey Pablo.
I'm like, wait, I know that's a Petey. I'm like, there's no way that we're talking, because he doesn't have any music, right? Like, I don't know any other song from him. I'm like, so how could that be your favorite artist? I'm like, there's no way.
Petey Pablo had two big joints. It was the North Carolina joint and then Freak a League.
Yeah, that's not enough for me to. Like, what am I gonna do with that? That's not a mixtape.
No,
not a thing. Like, that's not.
Petey Pablo. No,
I got you.
Twisted. But I like Petey Pablo. Don't let me do that. I'm not gonna do that. I like Petey Pablo, but Petey Crack stylistically was like my guy, and he's killing me. But no, Petey Crack is Petey Crack is from Philly. He's from Badlands, North Philadelphia, and he was in State Property. And
I know who Petey Crack is now, but I'm looking when you were like, I don't know. Petey Pablo was the first thing that came to my mind. I'm like, wait, because all I kept thinking is, what music does he have? What music? Then I was like, hold on, we're not thinking about the right person. Did you hear what he said?
Yeah. Nah,
okay,
nah.
cool.
He probably has some stuff, maybe.
he probably does have some stuff. We just don't know it. So for somebody to say that's their favorite artist, I was really gonna be like, what music does he have? Because I was like, wait, are we talking about the right person? Then I realized you didn't say PD. Pablo, you said PD Crack. Okay, so who else?
PD Crack. Obviously, well, the go-tos would be like Hove, Nas, M. But I was a big Ja Rule fan. I was a big 50 fan.
Are you serious?
I'm very serious. I was a huge Nelly fan. I'm like a Saint Lunatics fan.
So the reason why I said are you serious, because this is so funny. And to this day, I'm a super, super, super big Ja Rule fan. Like, I don't care
so many hits.
What nobody says. Like, but the reason why I say this, and not that I'm like a go hard fan, like, 2018 or whatever. Growing up, like, when I started listening to Ja Rule, when I was like, second grade, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, all the way, whatever. Ja Rule was one of my favorite at that time. Ja Rule, Jay-Z, Nas, Ludacris, Jadakiss. Those were like, my favorites at that time. So Ja Rule was like, he was like, he was the only one who's really singing on tracks and, getting into that whole vibe or whatever. So I was a big Ja Rule fan. And then after everything happened with him and 50, he lost a lot of his fans. So I used to get into a lot of arguments with people about it, and it would never move me because I'm like, that doesn't take away from the fact that, he's still a dope artist. So a lot of times what I see is a lot of people are not really like that open to say that they're a Ja Rule fan. Moral of the story. Like, I meet people and they be like, yeah, and I'm like, yo, why you fronting on Ja Rule? Just because what happened with him and 50, like, people get bodied all the time. They don't care. Like, that don't take away from his previous music. Like, so that's cool that you said Ja Rule.
I feel like a lot of people in general, they backtrack on a lot of statements because they don't want to argue or they don't want to be seen, they don't want their friends to perceive them to
be in a certain light.
Exactly. So, but me, I love, Ja.
Yeah, I love Ja Rule.
What he did melodically on records, and like me and my girl, we love like J-Lo. So like,
I like J-Lo
him and J-Lo had like smashes to this day. Like,
him and Ashanti were a dynamic duo too.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like when like Nicki and Drake came out, it was like that type of energy. Like, somewhat, and obviously I'm not saying that, I'm not comparing the music wise. Like, Nicki raps, Ashanti sings. But I'm just saying the dynamic, the music, the chemistry, the great music that was created between those two at that point in period. It's just like, wow, it was super dope. Just J-Lo and Ja Rule, like, even when she brought him out for the VMAs the other day, I was so hyped. When I saw him in the crowd, I was like, she better bring him out. She better bring him out.
Yeah.
And when I saw, I was like, yes, good job, J-Lo.
Yeah, we just tuned in at that point.
Oh, really? You weren't watching it before that?
Nah.
Why?
I think I was working, honestly.
Oh, okay. I thought there was like a reason. Like
No. I work late.
Okay. So your first mixtape. So we're gonna go down from your first mixtape, which is Backpack and Chicken Wings.
Yep.
So then, how did you evolve from that to like? Because I listen to your music on SoundCloud, and not that music is bad. I don't know. The name alone is. I think the name is funny. So I'm just like, okay, can I take it serious?
No, it was like I was a serious rapper, but at the time I was doing like, I wouldn't even say parody stuff because it wasn't. There was nothing to parody, but I was doing kind of like it was like jokey rap. Like I was rapping about like campus life, like stuff that literally like stuff that I was living, but it wasn't necessarily relatable to anybody that wasn't on campus at that time.
Okay.
So the evolution from there was like, all right, now you know how to rap, you know how to make records, and you know how to make fun stuff. But now the graduation is make something that's actually like palatable and relatable to somebody else that's not here. Like do something that would be able to like get to New York and, have an effect on the people that are here.
Stand out.
Exactly, yeah.
Okay. You recording at that time, were you recording in Pennsylvania or were you recording in New York?
Yeah, so at that time I literally did all of my recording in my dorm room. Like I had a setup. My cousin gave me a preamp and I was using Magic Mix Studio. So this was like, I think at the time it was Sony Acid Magic's Mix. This was before Pro Tools, or maybe Pro Tools was out, but it was like a very exclusive. Like you had to actually have real bank for Pro Tools.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was in Magic's Mix, and I had downloaded it from, I think like Kazaa Lite. That was that was it. And I hooked everything up through the preamp.
Did everything yourself?
And just did everything myself. Yeah.
That's dope. That's a really dope process.
Thank
I'm actually intrigued to hear that. Like, that's not something I would have guessed. So that's cool to hear. So the songs I listened to on SoundCloud, I guess it's from this project called Today, not your recent project.
Not Today's the most recent.
Your most recent project, because of some of the other songs I were listening to via email, like Not Today, Satan, and they are not, I believe they're not on the SoundCloud.
Yeah, they are.
They are? Okay, so then maybe I wasn't looking through them. All right, so I'm going to play the songs that I was listening to. Mm-hmm. One of the songs I was listening to called Sweet Chick on there, and then I'll play, what was it? Oh, Not Today, Satan. I like that one as well.
Thank you,
and then I have 2 other ones in your email. We can play those, and then we'll come back.
All right, cool.
I met her down at Elliot, right in front of Sweet Chick. How ironic we meshed quite quick when she told me she wanna be blessed. I mean, at least that's what I read when she sent me a text. I had the digits. Then her friend said, give us a minute. That was strange though. We wasn't even pushing the limits. Then she said, Macy gotta go. I'm like, why? She said, now you good with the questions. Just say bye, no mind. I'm sorry, ain't no stopping this passion. Your friend going dead you for this fatal attraction. Time ticking, not a second going by without laughing. Went from 2 girls to hurt me and a distraction. It's you. I'm feeling like you need to make an exit. You got another comment, you can text it. Cause Macy fits every box on my checklist. So we gon' continue to let like a necklace. Stop blocking, she wanna dance. Can't you see that she wanna dance? And she don't even need romance. You gon' hold down the wall, she gon' grab my hands. Stop blocking, she wanna dance. Can't you see that she wanna dance? And she don't even need romance. You gon' hold down the wall, she gon' grab my hands. Went from sweet chick to no fun, daylight to no sun. Ironic when we work it out, I tell her don't run. Shit, listening to Big Pun. I'm getting ahead of myself, drinking gold rum. Her gold tone, looking like a crown. I wonder how I never saw her brown skin around. I'm ready to profess, go and grab a cap and gown. It's my shot, I ain't Russian roulette with a couple rounds. And her mother from the West Coast, father from the town. Went to John Jay, she know how to buckle down. Got the conversation deep, but it showed that I would've drowned. And waited for the DJ to spin the proper sound, not too slow. But something shoulder link clean like Nudro. Or maybe 2012 style like Nuvo. You know the time is right to tell your friend to stop and go like a traffic light. What's up? Stop blocking, she wanna dance. Can't you see that she wanna dance? And she don't even need romance. You gon' hold down the wall, she gon' grab my hands. Stop blocking, she wanna dance. Can't you see that she wanna dance? And she don't even need romance. You gon' hold down the wall, she gon' grab my hands.
Too loud, feedback, new scene, seat back.
It's a blessing that I woke up. Last night I dreamed about church, so they can pay me attention and they can pay me respect. Today I promise it's different. I'm being way more direct. So fuck you if you hate it. Enjoy living upstairs.
We gon' lift the whole damn world. Hold my drink and watch me curl. Like Jamie Foxx with my dream girl. She fancy too like South Sea pearls. I work of art like bank seat murals. There's more than meets the auto. And God just hit my phone like there's more to get, I said I know. So I get up, like who gon' order the scissor? Miss my alarm and now I'm late for Wizard. Got least them fly, check my shoes and my shizzer. Used to being broke, now come and see how I river. This whole time, what I wanted was all mine. And like, oh nah, I prepared for the slow grind, never lost shine. Funny, my vision turned me blind. And anybody try and stop my climb, unwind, I'm just
ready, focused and I'm ready. Ready, focused and I'm ready. When you sleep, that's how dreams are stolen. Till the end, they will never see me broken.
I promise. The more that I think about life is the more that I know I don't know about moments ahead, but the shortest the moments might help you to grow. And ego aside, if we talking about pride, then we gotta let go. But I'm being a hypocrite though, cause the winning is all I'ma show. Look, it's just the beginning. We want the bread till it look like we printing. Cash out the basement of where we been living. In order to start though, it starts with forgiving. All of the people who looked at you grinning were praying you strike out at every inning. But pitch after pitch, I'm the Griffey of this. Don't you see the chain already swinging? King it, check. Ain't no tomorrow today. Why would you live with delay? Like why would you get on the yacht without the intention to drink Chardonnay? Shit, I'm just speaking my mind. My mantra been on rewind. And I ain't gon' never say maybe, cause there's always a yes to find. Wash.
Ready, focused and I'm ready. Ready, focused and I'm ready. When you sleep, that's how dreams are stolen.
Went to a location. Get a ticket to get high, baby. I'ma skip the rotation. Need a vacation. Went to a location. Need a vacation. Need a vacation. Point to a location. Get a ticket to get high, baby. Come and skip the rotation. Need a vacation. Point to a location. Get a ticket to get high, baby. Come and skip the rotation. Maybe we should take a trip. Get fly, 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 white sand beaches for the weekend. Get fly, fly, I feel like I'm in Cabo. White sand, where the time go. Nice tan, baby, fine so vibing, you want slow. No time for the convo. Spare keys to the condo. Let me get the poncho. Rain down pronto. Rain down pronto. Maybe we could trip so far out the way. Left coast San Fran to the bay. Maybe we could wake up every morning, staring straight over the sea. Dreaming, dreaming. No place we'd rather be. Maybe we could wake up every morning, staring straight over the sea. Dreaming, dreaming. No place we'd rather be. I'm talking that. Need a vacation. Point to a location. Get a ticket to get high, baby. Come and skip the rotation. Need a vacation. Point to a location. Get a ticket to get high, baby. Come and skip the rotation. Maybe we should take a trip. Get fly, 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 white sand beaches for the weekend. Get fly, fly, no plans, we can romance on the Riviera with a slow dance or.
Hey guys, it's Sash. I'm live. We back on MTM Radio. We're here with Elliot Bless.
Hey.
We were just playing a couple of his songs that are on his SoundCloud. That song was called Vacation by his project, a recent project called Today. Quickly, before we go, your SoundCloud, your Instagram, Facebook, anyone that wants to find you, stream your music, download your music, or contact you, leave your information on what's your name.
So Instagram is Elliot Bless, at Elliot Bless, ELLIOT BLESS. Twitter is Elliot_Bless, and SoundCloud is Elliot Bless.
That's all?
That's all.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And what about your email if anyone's looking? They can get that on your Instagram.
Yeah, you can get it off my Instagram, or you can contact me directly from my website, elliottbless.com.
Okay, cool.
So everything is just straight Elliot Bless.
All right, perfect. Okay, so as I listened to your music, I was getting a lot of like feel good vibes.
Yeah.
Like kind of put me in the zone. Like, and then some of them I got a little like party vibes, like when you party in the city, it's like so diverse. So I was just like, oh, I like this. So
thank you.
What would you say differentiates your music from other up and coming artists' music?
Yeah, I think that's kind of sort of just it right there. It has.
Did I
give
you an answer?
You did. You absolutely did. I wanted. So when we sought out to do the project, and I say we, so the entire project is all produced by a producer by the name of Lee Altaquan. So Lee did every single record. How it started was, well, my baby, man, my girlfriend is like the only reason why this project came out when it did. She was very adamant about me doing music because there was a point where I had stopped. I stopped for about 3 years. So this is the first offering of records, in a long time. I was pursuing entrepreneurship, and I felt like I needed to focus solely on like the business aspect of stuff. And I was like, if I split my attention between like product and music, then there's no way that I'll be able to make something pop. And you know, the business stuff, it kind of sort of didn't work. It fell out through natural attrition. And when everything kind of folded and we actually decided that we were going to like end it, I had to think like, all right, what am I gonna do now, right? Like I'm one of those people that I'd have to do something. And my business partner at the time, he was like, yo, you should do music. Like, it's not even a question. Like, you're not going to be happy in life if you don't do music.
If you don't do it with
yeah,
love.
it was like it wasn't a question. So when he told me that, I went back to the captain and she was just like, you need to do music. Like, you are fucking up if you're not doing music. And when after that conversation, then I hit up Lee, and I had a project before this 3 years ago called Kiln Shelves, and it was under a different name. So my rap name used to be Max Flair. So I did Kiln Shelves, and Lee did that entire project too. Mm-hmm. And the reason why I tapped Lee again for this is he's very diverse as far as sound goes. So you can literally just say, hey, listen, I want, this BPM, this to be the melody, and I want, the demographic is going to be these people, and he could cook it up.
Super
quick.
dope.
Yeah.
Real
So
dope. Yeah, I like that. I love when an artist or a producer or a creative is just diverse. So
yeah,
that's a plus.
Yeah,
you bring a lot of value. That's what I heard a lot of that in your music. Like I said, it was feel good. It put me in the zone. Then I could see city nights at one of those more upscale parties. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
So I got them. I was just like, you don't always get that with up and coming artists, and I understand everyone has a different lane or a different style. So with that being said, if you can get a feature with any artist now, let's say they can be established, they can be non-established. If you can get a rapper and a singer right now,
yeah,
who would it be?
A rapper and a singer,
along with yourself.
Yeah. For the singer, first off, this is how I am when we go to restaurants and like they put the menu in front of me. It takes me forever to figure it out.
Me too. And I usually sometimes get the same thing.
Oh,
that
no,
I usually always get.
That every time. It never fails.
When is your birthday?
January 23rd.
Okay, my birthday's April 7th. I'm like, are you an Aries?
Nah, I don't know anything about zodiacs. Nah. Damn, that's such a good question. I mean, I really want to work with John Bellion. That's like a big like thing. I want to do that just because I feel like his sound is very eclectic and he could tap into that whole, like, I don't want to say hip house because I don't really like to. Part of my thing is not wanting to pin myself into a specific genre.
Okay,
exactly.
Genre, right. Which is I think is cool.
But I would say John Bellion, and for the female singer, man, babe, who should we do?
Who's one of your favorite female singers?
Give me one.
Yep, if you could get a feature right now with a female singer.
Me and Beyonce would do a crazy record.
So you would do
I would absolutely do a record with Beyonce. Yeah. I mean,
Beyonce is very talented.
I would go
she
crazy
is amazing.
with Beyonce. Yeah.
I'm not a Beyonce fan, but she is. She's an amazing artist. I would never take that from her. But the word fan to me is just on another level. That's a whole nother conversation for a whole nother day. I'm not gonna get into it. Right. Everybody always comes down on me. All right. No, anyway, I don't want the Beehive to beat me up. So anyway, but yeah, Beyonce's super dope.
Beyonce and John
That
Bellion.
Would be that would good collab.
Yeah, that would be nuts.
Maybe should we get that here on MTMRecordsMusic.com? So if it ever happens, you know where you heard it first.
Yeah.
Okay, so what would you say, like, what in your music really makes your music timeless, like, or everlasting? Or do you feel like you have music that's timeless, or you're a type of artist where, you're going to have to keep elevating, and you'll talk about maybe at one point in your life, and then you might be going through something else next year, and you might be talking about that. Like, does that work for you, or how does that work?
Absolutely. I mean, for me, I feel like one of the big things, so the project today, the reason why I was titled today was specifically to have that timeless element, because no matter when you listen to the project, if you're ever talking about it, like, it'll always be today. Like, if somebody asks you, like, how was your day today, and you listen to the project, it's no matter when you're listening to it, it's going to be like a present tense moment. But as far as the content goes, the reason why the content has replay value is I have so many metaphors and layers inside of the records that, like, every time you listen to a record, you can hear it differently, literally depending on, the conversation you had prior to listening to the record, or just the environment that you're in when you're listening to the record. So that's one big thing that I'm really huge on, is just, if, like, every bar is like literally every single bar has a metaphor inside of it, just because I feel like that's the only way that listeners won't get bored.
I think that's dope too. It's a very creative, dope way of making music. And
Yeah.
like you said, it is a way for us to not get bored. Because a lot of times with artists, what they do sometimes they just rhyme words together.
Yeah.
Or they just talk about like what's popular, and there's not really any metaphor, or there's no message, or there's no meaning behind that bar or that song.
Yeah.
So being that you take that time out to do that, that's really dope. Please
Thank
don't
you.
stop doing
nah,
that.
yeah, nah. I wouldn't do it. And like I feel like
doing that.
nah, the timeless element for me too is I feel like part of the thing that makes me really good at what I do, and not even to be arrogant, but I do feel like I've been doing this for a decent amount of time, so I want to be very like clear with my confidence. But I feel like I can rap on any beat about any concept. So like that's really like that's what makes artists timeless, is the fact that they kind of can meander and be, chameleons through different genres. That's what gives you that longevity.
Yeah, and value too. That's what makes you definitely give you longevity and definitely give you value, because like you said, the things that you rap about or you might sing about in this project today might not be anything that you want to talk about in 2020.
Right.
But
you could come back to it in 2020 and feel
that and be like, yo,
exactly.
Just the same when I hear certain of your songs, and it takes me right back to college, 2008, or it takes me right back to when I was in high school, getting ready for whatever senior year, or it takes me back to right after I graduated college, when getting ready for the real, so that I definitely think is, important in your music. With that being said, I definitely do want to thank you for coming today. I got to learn a lot about you, so that was so cool. Yeah, a lot of good characteristics, and I think that I get a way better understanding of your music, and now I get to see I feel like why it's so soulful. So we were talking about off air that song called Not Today Satan, which is off of the Today project. Before I get into that song, I'm going to actually close out with that song, and it will be the first song that's going to be on our Up Next playlist tomorrow on mtmrecordsmusic.com. Before I do play that, like I said, if you want to get his music, you can go on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, as well as SoundCloud, and it's Elliot, Elliot, Bless, Bless, Bless. And like I said, I'm gonna play Not Today Satan, and then what can we what's next? Before you go, you gotta give us some like inside information, like what's next, like what can we expect? Is anything going on? Anything brewing? Anything you wanna
absolutely.
Tell me?
I'm working on new music with a producer by the name of Mars Snare.
Okay.
So he's out on the West Coast in LA. So that's going to be the next brewing stuff.
Okay.
I also have a show coming up in Brooklyn on September 19th. And that is going to be through more bookings. And if you follow me on Instagram, follow me on Instagram.
No, I'm Nigel.
Exactly.
Yeah, I know him. I went to I know him from a while back. I actually co-hosted one of his showcases about 3-4 weeks ago in Harlem at the West End.
Dope, lit.
Yeah,
I love
so
the West End.
I'll be getting into a little bit more of that. So maybe you'll see me around.
Yeah,
No, I can't talk too much on air.
Absolutely. Nah, I know how that goes. But follow me on Instagram and you'll see all of the rumblings as far as the upcoming shows.
Okay,
and all
so
that stuff.
September 19th, you said in Brooklyn.
19th.
That will be on your Instagram page on Elliot Bless. And thank you guys so much for tuning in. The full interview will be up tomorrow on mtmrecordsmusic.com on the creators page. And now we're gonna get into Elliot Bless, Not Today Satan.
It sound like 20 degrees, and now I horse around like plenty of weave. Roll my sleeves, I got it on lock, never fumbled the keys. Only if I'm praying when he see me on knees. Unless I'm praying with it eating, I'll be dressing fatigues. With a hoodie on like Mellow when he thunder the league. This that talk that get everyone who listen intrigued. Like, no, not today, Satan. Cause I'm been hot like a vacation. Don't throw salt cause I've been Cajun. Black and Puerto Rican, know I look Beijing. Did a little business right outside of Beijing. I don't mean gold plated when I see my name ring. I can sun palm, why can it be king? I can never sell my soul, I don't kill fame brain.
Tryna take with my pesos, not today. Independent fucking label, not today. I couldn't tell you where my days go, not today. But I done it up, and I run it up, yeah.
No, not today, Satan. No, not today, Satan. No, not today, Satan. No, not today, no, not today, no, not today, Satan. So glad I have options, but But no, I won't get this shit poppin'. Cause if I do something illegal, may he rest in peace, I can call Johnny Cochran. My circle can never be boxed in. My ethic can never be clocked in. No metric can measure my glowing aesthetic. Won't kick it with fakes, I don't sock a prosthetic like who. And I need all puff. And masters and match, I called up. You see how I'm playing, just cost up. I'm bodying trap, it ain't no club. I smile a lot, but I call thugs. Don't get stepped on like floor rugs. My flow right now for the weak plugs. Leave your face scrunch like 4 pugs.
Tryna take with my pesos, nah today. Independent, fuck a label, nah today. I couldn't tell you where my days go, nah today. But I done enough, and I run it up, yeah.
No, not today, say No, not today, no, not today, say No, not today, no, not today, say No, not today, no, not today, no, not today, say Some saying I should be more visual. Cross me, it'll get more spiritual. Less talk, it'll get more literal. Third verse, let me get more lyrical. I've been nice, had a few shots missed. Then I started working for myself, plot twist. Till it ain't work, I was thinking all shit. Then I caught a whole wave, now I'm looking all lit. Jump straight in like a Wendy's ball pit. Like white folks, I can with a lot less lip. Light word, let me do a few more dips. Came with the sauce, give me whole grain chips. I know you can't sit at my table if you wasn't sharing when I wasn't stable. You wasn't helping when I wasn't able to pay for my roof or the heat of some cable. Don't worry about if I'm gon' sign with a label. Go independent, go cut off your navel. I don't need an army, my base gon' be naval like Riri. I'm Geechee, that's facts, not a fable. Spinning my records like bomb for Jados. Don't baby me, I've been this way since the cradle.